Hello and welcome to Cary Travel Express's virtual presentation on the wonderful, fun destination of Ireland. It's going to be presented today by Celtic Tours. First off, just wanted to remind you that we are doing this virtually this year. Usually we have our big show, annual show at the Holiday Inn, but we are doing it virtual this year. Cary Travel Express, as most of you know, is a full service local travel agency. Many of you on our call have worked with us in the past, and you do know that there's a lot of value in using a travel agency or a travel advisor, especially at this time. We are here as your advocate and can really guide you through the process of booking the destination, selecting the tour and activities, and of course, advising you on all of the other important things that we need to navigate in this day and age. Just a couple of things right now before we start our presentation. Everyone is placed on mute. If you have any questions for us or the presenter, you can type them in your chat box and we'll try to answer those at the end of our presentation. Also, very exciting is by you participating in any one of our webinars throughout the week, including the one today, we will have your name entered into our drawing for one of two grand prizes that we have. One grand prize is the 7-night Greek island cruise, which has been given to us by Celestial Cruises. They have a webinar on Thursday night. And the other grand prize is a trip for two people to Cancun area to stay at the Dreams Vista for 2 nights with the charter seats provided by Apple Vacations. We also have a nice Ireland basket that Di is donating to us, and we will be drawing all of these at the conclusion of our travel virtual seminar week, which will be next week. And you will be notified by email, which I have from your registration today. Also, just want to remind you that because we are doing our travel show week, we have many special promotions and offers from our travel suppliers that you won't find out there with other travel agencies or on the internet. So just a reminder that if you have anything that you're looking to consider for future travel, please let us know. You know how to get in touch with us. Of course, our phone number is 847-639-3300, carytravelexpress.com. And a lot of you will have Neely's email address also on some of the communications. All right, so without any further talk here, I would like to introduce you to Diane Rowe. She is the Celtic Tour Business Development Manager for the Midwest, and she is our expert on Ireland today. Thank you, Diane.
Thanks for having me, everybody, and good morning. And I'm excited to be here to get you excited about going to Ireland. And with Cary Travel, it has a very special place in my heart. I actually was part of the Cary Travel Express team for almost 19 years. And I escorted many of our tours to Ireland when I was at Cary Travel. And I've been gone almost 8, working for the Irish tour company now. And happily, most of the girls, or several in that office there that I'm looking at, have been to Ireland with me. And it's a favorite destination. I know of the owner, Neely. We were there twice years ago with 2 coaches. It's a wonderful trip. So I think Ireland has always been great when you think of Cary Travel, especially too. So I usually like to start off by saying Céad Míle Fáilte to all of you. And of course, that's with a Chicago brogue, not a beautiful Irish brogue like you'll hear when you get to Ireland. But what that means is 100,000 welcomes. And as many years as I've been traveling to Ireland, every time my foot lands on Irish soil, I feel like I've gotten 100,000 welcomes. Ireland is not about the bling. If you've been to other parts of Europe, maybe that are a little bit more fancier. Ireland is the simple things. It's the scenic drive along the coast, sitting at a pub, talking to the locals, and not too uncommon to stop your car or the coach for the sheep to cross. And truly, I think the simple things are why people that have been keep getting called back to Ireland and want to return. and the anticipation for new people going, I think you will not be disappointed. It's a beautiful, beautiful country. So before I tell you about how we can get you there, I have a little video. It's about a 2.5-minute video that was put out by the Irish Tourist Board. And to me, seeing the sights, hearing the sounds are what is going to kind of put the image in your head of what Ireland's all about. So I'm not too keen at this. I'm going to try to share my screen here right now. It's a little new for all of us here. And see if I can get my page here. Can the girls tell me if they can see my screen? Oop. Hold on, let's try one more thing here. Hold on. Kathy, is my screen sharing? Wait, stop sharing. Hold on, give me one moment. Let me try it again.
What are you doing?
Trying to find the video here. And if I can't get to it, we'll just move on and I'll just go to the presentation. Maybe I can work on it at the end. So let me see if I can just share this screen. Okay, so you do see the main screen here now? Can somebody let me know if you can see it?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll go back to the video. That was a little technical thing that I've been trying to work out, but we'll just start with the presentation here. So basically, the page here is showing you this most beautiful picture in Ireland, and Celtic Tours is Ireland. So when you think of Ireland, you want to think of Celtic Tours. And when I show you the map of Ireland, I think it's important to point this out because a lot of people think that Ireland is a very big country. And when you look at the map here, Ireland is about the size of the state of Indiana or Maine. So it's not very big. You can get from coast to coast very quick. There's a coin phrase that it's no more than 2.5 to 3 hours actually from water in any direction. So it's a very small country. So if you think about being in the state of Indiana for a week and you're touring around, you could come back seeing a lot of Indiana. Same thing applies to Ireland. You will see a lot in your time there. Ireland is a very temperate climate, so it doesn't get drastic either end. It also has, because of the temperate climate, when you're down in the Southwest, don't be surprised to see if you see a palm tree or two. I remember my first time I saw a palm tree outside of Killarney, I couldn't believe it because you don't associate it with Ireland, but they are there. The winding roads, when you drive this Atlantic coast here, the winding roads to me are really what separates Ireland from other parts of Europe and makes it unique. The reason we have winding roads, which we also refer to as cow's paths, is because the Romans did not make it to Ireland. The Romans, when they were conquering the world, made it as far as Great Britain. So if you're in England, for example, you're gonna see more of the highway system that the Romans brought, square town centers. These kinds of things you really won't find in Ireland as much. You're still gonna have a lot of those cows paths, winding roads. And to me, that again is what you picture in your mind as you're driving through, driving through the country. The country is divided into 32 counties, and I refer to those as little states. So if I take my little arrow here and I put a little mark along this edge here, excluding this, all of the rest of this part of the country of Ireland, we would refer to as Southern Ireland or the Irish Republic. And it's controlled by their own governments. As a matter of fact, this year, 2021 is a very special year. It commemorates the 100th anniversary of the independence of Ireland from Great Britain. And I'm sure that there'll be many commemorative ceremonies going on this year to memorialize that time in history. A very short time, if you think about 100 years of being its own country, when how old the country itself is. So to me, it's going to be a very important year. When we move up to this little northern section, which I kind of took a little map of, a better map for you to view of Northern Ireland, you can see the pink here is still part of what would be Southern Ireland. And the 6 counties here are what you and I would refer to as Northern Ireland. It's controlled by the British government. When you visit there, you use the pound, the British sterling pound as currency. whereas the rest of the country, you're still using the euro because they are part of the European nation. Now, things that might be a little confusing is, say if you're in this beautiful town of Donegal, one of my favorite towns, you might say, oh, Donegal's in Northern Ireland. Well, it is in Northern Ireland geographically, but politically, Donegal is still part of Southern Ireland or the Irish Republic. Another city I find interesting is this town of Derry, city of Derry. If you're in Derry, you'll see two signs. You'll see Derry and you'll see Londonderry. Because it's a border city, depending on whom you're speaking with and which part of Derry you're in, it's either Derry for the south and then Londonderry for Northern Ireland, but still part of the British Commonwealth as you travel there. I would say from years ago, maybe 30 years ago, you had checkpoints going from the north to south. I used to call them Checkpoint Charlie, security to get back and forth. Today, that does not remain, it's non-existent. So it's easy to pass from northern to southern. You don't even really know that you're passing. I always say the difference is that the lines on the road in the south are yellow, they're white in the north, and the soups in the south are creamy and they're chunky in the north. So to me, it's fun little things that separate the north from the south, but easy to go between the two nowadays. There's, again, no kind of border crossing or anything like that. And I'm happy to say, when I first was bringing my groups of Cary Travel, we really didn't venture up north over 20 years ago. But now it's opened up and there's so much that the north can offer that I think people that maybe have been to Ireland but have not been to Northern Ireland might want to go up to the north. For example, the Giant's Causeway, absolutely breathtaking at the very tip of Northern Ireland. It's part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. So when you're out there, you definitely feel like you're at the ends of the earth. The stone that you find is, you don't find many other places in the world in the way that it was formed. And on a clear day, when you're way at the top here at the Giant's Causeway, on a very clear day, you can see Scotland. And when you're over in Ireland, the guides that bring you down to the beach area are delighted to tell you the story about the giants that fought on either side of the causeway, and just delightful folklore tales as you would expect the Irish, to have. Another thing popular in the north, if you haven't been, is the Titanic Museum, which home is in Belfast. It's beautiful museum that was built within the past, I'm guessing 5 or 6 years now, on the actual shipyards that the actual Titanic was built. The tour is wonderful. Obviously, we all know the ending, what happened to the Titanic, but what you don't know is the sweat and toil that the local people of Belfast put into creating the ship. And the people of Belfast have a little phrase that it's kind of cheeky that, goes, well, she was sailing when she left here. So they really don't want to take a lot of responsibility for what happened after. But actually, the Titanic left from Belfast, went to Southampton, England, all the way down to the very bottom of Ireland in Cove, and then set out for the US. Okay, another great thing about the North are all of you Game of Thrones addicts, like I was when that series was on. We have put together self-drives that you can visit all the points that Game of Thrones was filmed in Ireland, including the Dark Hedges. So there's a lot of things that you can do in the North that people might not realize because we're more familiar with hearing sites in the South. So what ways can Celtic Tours bring you to the Emerald Isle? All righty. So escorted tours are probably our most popular way to bring you to Ireland because you can sit back, relax, and take it all in. A couple highlights of the Celtic Tours when you come with us. I love that most of us have a great pace of 2-night stays within the body of the tour. So what that means is you're going to find very few one-nighters. And on anybody out there that has been on an escorted tour anywhere, especially in Europe, if you have so many one-nighters, in my opinion, you're nowhere. You're always en route, waiting to get to the next destination, and you can't settle in. So obviously on a tour, we have to move you along, but by staying 2 nights, believe me, and the girls can attest to this, it makes your trip a little bit more relaxed by being able to do that. So when you look at some of our tours later, you'll notice that a lot of them have the 2-night stays. Another highlight to me, this is one of my favorites, is every day, except the day you arrive, of course, you are going to take part in a beautiful full Irish breakfast. And I usually ask people when I'm in person with you how you would describe it in 2 words. My 2 words are cholesterol heaven. I absolutely love the full Irish breakfast. And you might say, what's a full Irish breakfast? Well, it starts off with usually a made-to-order omelet station, your eggs, your bangers, which are your sausages, your rashers, which are your ham. Absolutely wonderful. So every day you start off with this. The steel oats in Ireland are great, fruits, and then of course Di's favorite station, the breads. So when you look at this, you think of soda bread, brown bread. And if you have not eaten a proper scone, you haven't lived. So all of these are a great way to start. And because we include such a hearty breakfast to start your day off with, we rarely include lunches in our itineraries unless you're in a certain spot. And the reason we do that is because you're going to be so full from breakfast, we don't want to nickel and dime you and charge you for 3 meals a day, when most likely on a full Irish breakfast day, you might want a cup of soup and brown bread for lunch, and that's it. But most dinners will be included in your tours. And we usually try to leave one night off within the body of the tour, sometimes 2, so you can go out and eat on your own, visit with the locals. Maybe by night 6, you want a pizza, you don't want Irish food. So for the most part though, most of your meals really are included on our tours. So it's an expense that you don't have to think about, putting out money for. Most of our tours also are staying at first-class hotels, and most of them include a castle stay. So I wanted to share with you the beautiful Kilronan Castle Hotel. This is one of the tour castle hotels that's included on 3 of our tours, the Dream, the Rose, and the Delight. So you will have 2 nights staying at this beautiful estate castle. And what a better way than to come back to home and tell your friends, brag that you lived like a king queen for the night and stayed at a castle. And again, on days like this, when you're at the castle, this one in particular has a beautiful leisure and spa. You can, book horseback riding. The other castles that we offer when you're on your own at Ashford, we can do besides horseback riding, the owls and the hawk ride and walks through the forest. We can offer a lot of different things. Another thing with Celtic, which I like, is that our driver guide is with you the entire time. Now, some of you folks have done tours in Europe, you are accommodated or used to having a driver that sole purpose is to drive you from point A to B. And you also have the guide who is the person, the narrative that's bringing the tour to life. In Ireland, we do it a little bit different. Our driver is your guide. It's one and the same person. So he will take care of you from the entire time that you are greeted at the airport to the time you tearfully say goodbye to him when you have to fly back home. We have excellent tour guides. I'm a little impartial to that. A few of them I've known for almost 20 years now, and I think they do a great job. They're all Blue Badge qualified. They not only know their history, they know everything about the city you're going to be traveling in, but because they're Irish, they've got the great Irish sense of humor to entertain you every day. So it's not uncommon to hear Danny Boy being sung or, a joke, a limerick being told on the bus, and the ones that have been with me can attest to that. So that is, another fine point of our tours. One thing to add to the driver guide, because we are providing you with one person, it means that there's only one person you will need to tip a gratuity at the end, not 2 as in your European tours. Also, when you start looking at the inclusions, and you can go on, ask the girls at Cary Travel for a brochure or look at each tour, you will see that most attractions that you're going to see and do while on your tour are already built into the cost of the tour. So we're really not going to nickel and dime you. A few things I'd like to mention that maybe are not included. Unfortunately, we can't buy your Guinness or your Baileys. You have to buy your own alcoholic beverages. And of course, those lunches that would not be included, or dinners, and then your gratuity to the driver. And I always say shopping is very discretionary. That's all on you. If you want to shop and spend a lot, of course, Ireland isn't green just for the landscape. Trust me, they like our money as well. And what beautiful things you can buy in Ireland, from tapestries to linens to your beautiful Aran sweaters, the beautiful Celtic jewelry. Again, there's wonderful things that you can bring back for your friends and family when you're over there. Also new this year, first time in 21, we've had to implement COVID social distancing. So what we're doing is every tour that we have for this year coming up will be a small group departure. That means 25 or less on the coach with you. We are still bringing in our 48 coach seaters. So you will still be on the larger size bus. People will be able to spread out. I'm not quite sure if we're going to mark off seats or take out a few aisles on that, but that is the way we are moving forward on every tour that we're offering this year into 21 for you. Now, some of the tours I'm going to just go over real quick just to give you a synopsis of what you can consider taking. Just a reminder, Ireland is a year-round destination. People assume you need to go in the summer. Summer's great to be in Ireland, but if you consider a late fall, to me, when it's cooler weather, don't forget they're burning the peat in the fireplace. You're wearing those Aran sweaters. You're eating comfort foods. So to me, a little bit cooler weather, I think, adds to the ambience of being in Ireland, Wales, Scotland, England. So any time of year is great. So some of the choices you might have, number one would be our Celtic Dream. And as I put it up here, you can see that this itinerary covers the entire country. This is the only tour that we have that covers both north and south in a circular motion, all with 2-night stays in, I believe, one night stay on this particular tour. The rest are 2 nights in every city that you're in. And again, 2 nights at that lovely Kilronan Castle that I showed you. Our most popular seems to be for people who are maybe still working and cannot take off as much time. Our Heart of Ireland, I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite tours. As you can see, we have dates through 2021. It's 6 sleeping nights, 2 in Galway, 2 in Killarney, and 2 back in Dublin, sleeping at the Fitzpatrick Castle Hotel, which is a suburban area outside of the city of Dublin, but you are at a castle hotel as well. And these rates are very reasonable on the Heart. And again, it's for people that have shorter time, although you can add on pre and post stays. It's not uncommon to have the girls maybe book an airline flight from Dublin to Edinburgh and extend over there. You have many options, or just stay in Ireland longer. A couple others we have here just to show you are Irish Rose. Covers the north and then this a lot of the west coast of Ireland. It does not cover the east, southeast. And then our Delight is pretty much our Heart, but with 2 extra nights that do go up to the Kilronan Castle. And for those that like to party and feel that they're in Ireland for St. Pat's, which would be fantastic, we offer annually a St. Patrick's Week in Ireland. So we are taking reservations on this as we speak now for our 2022 St. Patrick's Week. Then we have a Rambler, which is really more for those budget conscious. Obviously not going to include a castle stay, but still a great way to come economically and see the country if that suits you. And then for those who do want to combine, we have our Heart of Ireland and Scotland mixed tour that you are seeing 2 countries, on the same trip. All right. Wanted to point out that what we're doing for this week, we have a nice offer. We're offering $200 off a booking on any of our 6-night or longer Ireland tours. That's $100 per person. The key to this is it's for a show special, so it's for the month of January. You need to deposit by the 31st, not pay in full, just deposit. Okay, and the girls will have more information on the voucher at the office. And I encourage, if you're thinking about going maybe this October, September, whatever, to try to at least, make your booking in the next 3 weeks, that we have ahead. All right, so moving on to a couple other ways we can get you there just briefly. We offer chauffeur drive packages. And chauffeur drive packages are really perfect for families that want to travel together as a family. They want the narrative, they want somebody to drive them, they don't want to drive themselves, but they don't want to be on a bus with other strangers. We have vehicles that will accommodate from 2 people traveling all the way up to a small group. It's totally customized. It's your trip, your way, your pace. One day you want to visit your ancestral birthplace, the driver's happy to bring you there and let you discover things in the churches, the cemeteries, whatever. This has become extremely popular for people returning. Am I still on? I think it said I was muted. Hopefully you can still hear me. Anyways, the chauffeur drive is great for those individual customized packages. And what we can do within a chauffeur is you can mix and match your accommodations. So you can stay at a hotel one night, castle maybe another. We do farm stays, we do manor houses, and most important, we book B&Bs for you. So if you do want that really unique experience of staying with a family in a B&B, Celtic Tours can do that. And you don't have to do it your entire trip, but maybe 1 or 2 nights. And we will pre-book that for you. So the chauffeur is a great way to go. Another way people love forever, I've been used to book a lot of people on self-drives. We work with Hertz Car Rental. Maybe you do Dublin first and then rent a car, and the rest of the week you're on your own. We can book all your accommodations ahead of time for you. It's a little looser, your itinerary, but we can also book sightseeing attractions, things that you want on your trip in both scenarios, whether it be museum tour, entrance tickets, a night of at the Irish House Party, which is a dinner and Celtic music show in Dublin, things like that. We can preset and have built within that customized tour for you. Alrighty, so, and then just to mention last, we do a lot of golfing groups. Chauffeur drive is a great way to do golf, especially if you have people that are non-golfers that are traveling with the golfers. They can go out sightseeing in the day. We also do escorted rail tours. I don't know for 21 what the itinerary and options look like at this point, but we have in the past offered escorted rail tours throughout Ireland. And that kind of wraps up the way we can get you there. So whether it's an escorted tour, which I still firmly believe your first time to any new destination is really the best way to go. And then when you return, consider renting a car or doing a chauffeur drive with more in depth of things you personally want to do. So with that being said, my favorite little sheep here will say it all, that we really look forward to welcome you back to my favorite place in the whole wide world, the Emerald Isle of Ireland. And please talk to the girls at Cary Travel. Again, they're experts in Ireland as well. Margaret was just with me, I think it was a year ago in November. Kay lived over in Ireland. And Neely has been there more times than I can count on a hand probably as well. So look towards the girls at Cary Travel to help make your Ireland experience come to life. All right, so that goes that. And I don't know if somebody from the office wants to say something in closing.
Thank you, Diane. That was wonderful.
Okay.
And we sure want to get over and explore Ireland once again.
Yep.
So at this time, if any of our clients or any of the participants that are on our Zoom call here, if you have any specific questions, you could add them into the chat box. You could just type a question in there. And if you type something, I can read it off. If you don't have any questions or anything else. Okay, yes, we have a question here.
Okay.
If I put a deposit down, could it be used for next year?
For the coupon that we're offering, the show special has to be for a tour for this upcoming year. But we are booking not our escorted tours, but certain individual fly drives and chauffeur drives. We are already looking at itineraries for 22. So yes, you would deposit on that. But we can't put a deposit on something that doesn't exist yet. So if we don't have a 22 escorted tour date yet, there's nothing to append the deposit to, if you know what I mean. What I will say with that is if you deposit, if anybody who had a deposit, for example, for this March, and now that Ireland is kind of closed now again till April, we are moving those forward. So you wouldn't lose your money. It would be moved to a later date of travel.
Okay, great. All right. I do have a question. Someone's asking about costs for tours, and I would ask you to please reach out to one of the agents here at our office. And also, I do have your email address, so I can certainly have someone contact you about the cost for tours. But Diane, do you have an average land
Yeah, I would say
cost?
our in off season, if you go at the end, you'll see some of our Heart of Ireland starting at around $12.99 with everything included except air. And keep in mind the air, I think moving ahead for this year is going to be very reasonable as well because carriers like Aer Lingus, they want to fill those flights. All the way, I would say if you're looking at our Dream, which is the full 2 weeks, it's probably starting at around 2,100, I think. I don't have it in front of me. I'm sorry, I should have had that in front. But right, the girls, you can certainly, it's a quick click and you can find what the prices would be for each tour. And again, they vary from week to week depending on the season you're going and what time of year.
Sure. Okay, great. Another question about if a traveler is going with a small group of 10 people, would they, on an escorted tour, would they all be together on the same bus and in the same hotel?
Yes, when we do our escorted tours, no matter in the old days, last year when we'd have 30 on the bus, or if we're going to have 10 on the bus, when you are on our series escorted tours, everybody is staying at the same property together, the same hotel together. So we're not doing various drop-offs at different hotels. We stay together as a group, and we travel together as a group. However, I do like to mention we are not hooked at the hip. So within the tour, there's plenty of time to go off and do things on your own when you come back from day touring. Maybe before dinner, you can either shopping. Some people like to go and just have a pint at a pub. So that's important. That's always a question people have too. How am I with everybody 24/7? Well, for some parts you are, but then there is ample time to do your own thing.
Okay, great. Another question here about the rail tours, Diane.
Yes.
For those, do you stay on the train for the
No,
majority of the tour?
No, the escorted rail tours in Ireland, they do not have sleeping car trains like they would in Europe. So those escorted tours, we worked with Irish Rail Tours is the name of the company that we worked hand in hand with. And you're sleeping in the towns that the itinerary ends up in at a hotel. But you're traveling together as a group on that escorted time. And again, we offered that product last year. I believe we are continuing, but I don't think we have any of the information loaded for 21 because the Irish Rail Company is waiting to obviously see what happens as well.
Right. Okay. Good. Someone was asking me about if anyone in particular in our office at Cary Travel Express is more of an expert on Ireland and who they should contact. Any one of the agents is very well versed in setting and getting together an Ireland tour package for you. I am going to put on the chat here some agents and their emails. So if you just want to look for that, that would be great. Also, you can always call our office. Again, the number is 847-639-3300. We are here during the week, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we can certainly get an agent to assist you with some quotes and pricing for your fantastic Ireland tour. I think that's all there is for the questions today. And I just wanted to, again, thank everyone for participating on our virtual destination seminar with Cary Travel Express. Thank you, Diane Rowe from Celtic Tours. I don't know if I introduced myself. I'm Kathy Cadlick, the marketing manager here. Again, all of you that attended, your name, we have your email address that will be going into the drawings that we have for the 2 grand prizes. And also we do have some other nice raffle items that we're giving away. And we just wanted to thank you again for making us your choice when you are ready to book your next vacation package. We are here to assist you as best we can. And a reminder that we can match and most times beat anything that you find on the internet. So in this day and age, it is really nice to work with a professional, someone that you have a relationship with, not just someone online, because we are here to service you and to service all of our clients that are traveling. So thank you very much. And we do have some other seminars. I hope you can sign up for those as well. Thank you.
All right, take care, everybody. Kate Mila Falchuk.
Bye.